Hi!
Good news, everybody.
Welcome to Delta Green. This is part 2 of our session. We played last Tuesday a new scenario called Sick Again by Greg Stolze. It is in playtest. We have early special access to it to try out. We made characters last time on the wrong character sheets. That's my fault.
That's what was wrong with the characters.
Yeah, that's the only problem we were having.
That's why you rolled so poorly.
Yeah.
Had the wrong character sheet, makes you roll crappy.
Awful affects the dice.
That's not one.
Yep.
Every time.
But we have correct character sheets, so we are going to start this time by fixing our characters. If you are tuning in for the first time, last session we made characters for the beginning, and then we started the adventure. This is sort of a prequel adventure. The basis for it is that the characters are all members of a special quick response team of doctors and scientists and crazy gun nut. Oh, I don't feel good.
Conspiracy theorists.
All of the things.
All the things.
We're a wacky crew.
All the worst possible thing.
Oh yeah.
So these guys all make people that are, in addition to their regular jobs, they work for the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, going to the scenes quickly to identify and manage outbreaks of virulent diseases. So this is a group that is known as the Fast Viral Emergency Response Team, or the Fever Team. I am your Game Master. I'm Terry from ChupacabraCon. I'm wearing, really
Like year one.
Year one.
Yes, year one.
Year
That
one
just means you're
ChupacabraCon shirt.
old school.
I'm old school, man.
You're there. You were there in the beginning.
Right,
Well,
man. I was there.
kind of.
Oh, sorry.
since we
No,
founded the
devolved.
band.
You were in
Rapidly
Chuba
since-
before it was cool.
You were in Cuba before it was a thing.
Well, yeah, actually, we
Before it
were wearing weird icons to begin with, but then we got, Chango, our mascot, officially. Although he's almost faded off this shirt. This is like
The shirt
5 years
came
old.
like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. No, it was brighter than this originally, but I have
Not
washed
much.
it like
It's called distress.
Once?
It's
50
fine.
times or 100 times or 150 times. I don't know. It was a lot. It was a lot.
Out, down, spot.
Yes.
That's right. So our players can say hi and let you know who they are.
Hello. I'm Laura.
I was waiting to see
That's
if
all
this is
you
all she's
get.
getting. Hello.
She's not on the
next.
internet. No matter where you're watching this from, it must
It's
not be
not
the internet,
on the
'cause she's
you're
not on
imagining, Laura.
And I'm playing Dr. Samantha Michaels.
Excellent. Who's actually like totally badass at all the things she needed to be badass at to be like the best doctor ever.
Yes.
And then
Not so much
really
on the,
crappy
like,
on the
injuring people
interpersonal
kind of
skill.
thing.
Yeah.
It could have been worse.
I explain to you in technical terms why you're an idiot.
Exactly.
And you're too stupid to understand them, so, oh well.
Sorry,
Hey,
Mike,
it
you
was
don't
not
have
a
to
critical failure.
It wasn't a critical failure. It could have been worse. It actually had, even though it was a
Always be
a
worse.
failure, it had some positive results. Yeah, that's a good thing about Delta Green.
You actually did a lot of stuff without even having to roll. It was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Because of 80s.
Yeah. Not because it's the 80s, because she have 80% in a lot of her stuff. So I'm her husband, James Goodwin, and I am playing Dr. I guess, Dennis.
Yes, doctor.
And they just call him Dr. Dennis.
Dr.
Like
Dennis.
he doesn't have a last name.
Mhm.
It actually kind of makes sense. I like that.
Yeah, and
Who are you? Oh, I'm Dr. Dennis. That's what they call me, Dr.
he's
Dennis.
a physicist
He
that
fixes
went to
stuff.
Stanford.
Stanford.
Everybody has to know that. He keeps saying that. And he's also a gun evangelical
Yes.
AA successful
Yes.
AA member.
I was really hoping. I keep hoping that it's
That
been
loves
like
his
he's
gun
got his
club.
10-year chip, right?
Is it AA
Yeah.
or NA?
I don't know. Maybe both.
I mean, it's
he's
all.
going to multi-class.
Yeah,
You took a level in NA.
You haven't checked all
I got
his
that
baggage.
alcoholism under control, but man,
Heroin
is sweet.
Wow.
Heroin's so good.
I picked a terrible day.
It's
No, he
not
actually
kids.
seems like he's in good
It's
shape.
not.
He's in good shape right now.
Right now,
Right now.
See what happens. He has a gun. That's the important thing.
he does have a gun.
He's
Yeah,
the only
that's
one
the
with a
scary
gun.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The kind of crazy gun that guy has.
That's
Imagine
Has a
that.
gun, go figure.
He has a gun.
He knows how to use it.
Yeah, which is the only reason he has one.
Exactly. Hi, I'm Jeff. I'm also with the Chupacabra crew. I am playing Jesse Matthews, who is their heroic pilot. Always there to save the day when he's not rolling like crap.
It's weird how life throws you those weird little curveballs. Anyways, we got there. It was fine. It was totally
We only
fine.
got struck by lightning once in a helicopter.
Still, I'm going with we need to add a sanity check and some damage on there. It's not nearly terrifying enough.
Aww.
Like, you got hit by lightning. Everybody take all of your hit points and damage.
We're
Oh wait,
playing-
that's just you. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
we're playing a Mythos RPG. Everybody gets involved in the fun. Everybody.
So everybody make a sanity check. Oh hell, it killed him. Everybody make another sanity check.
Very
It just
much
keeps
so.
getting better.
Mark exploded.
But wait, there's more.
Again.
Shockingly,
Oh, no.
that requires a sanity
Sanity
check.
is so overrated.
Considering my
Every
when I really
reason to make or you roll for sanity there's plenty of them. Yeah.
Yep. And I'm Mark. I'm playing Dr. Travis Bailey. Chemistry, biology. Yeah, like he's definitely the Wheatley kind of look. I'm just gonna sit over here and tell you how you're wrong, but not be anywhere near as competent as Dr. Travis over there. So
It's not Dr. Travis, Dr. Matthews.
Dr. Matthews. Sorry. I could remember the first name, but not the last. Dr. Matthews.
Michaels. Sorry, Michaels.
Vindicated, Dr. Michaels.
I thought I was Matthews.
Wow, you believed that, you know.
Yep. But yeah, definitely you're kind of just lab coat wearing, eyeglasses pushing up all the time guy who is probably going to get eaten by some horrible tentacle thing in the coming.
We would never do that.
No.
Or by the other player characters.
I mean, like-
in the hospital.
Well,
enough.
we didn't crash in the mountains.
If another...
There's probably other patients here to eat. Although, you're
That's
relatively
not
certain
one
at
of the
this point
symptoms.
that he is not infected. So you could safely eat Mark.
Where's that?
I mean, his character.
I mean, I'm definitely lean,
He has been
but I
putting
don't
on the
exercise much,
hazardous
so...
suit through most of the last session.
I'm actually just like mummified myself in duct tape.
just covered in duct tape. He's not in a yellow suit or a blue suit. He's in a gray suit. Shiny gray suit.
Silver suit.
I actually, it's the leopard print duct tape that I went with on this
I
trip.
shouldn't
so.
tell him I've been driving little pins through all the way through the duct.
Oh, rude! Just rude, man. Okay.
Not yet.
Safe.
But that might be what happens when you fail enough
Another-
sanity checks.
There's that.
Misery loves company, is what I'm hearing.
Like, I just go around. I'm not killing people with the ice pick. I'm just poking them a little.
It's just friendly. I'm just teasing. Oh, you're infected now.
Sorry.
You look a little hot, man. Let's
Things
ventilate.
So, anywho,
That's what's going on.
we are going to put our characters off of the old sheets onto the new sheet, and so there are some changes. The skills significantly changed. Well, a whole bunch of stuff went away and became simpler, really. So yeah,
This is simpler.
some of them go straight across because of the fact that we just wrote skills down when we were making our characters last time. But if you see something that doesn't exist on the other sheet, or something on the new sheet that you're like, oh, I want some of that, you can juggle your points a little bit. So we should put some of those over there. Because for one thing, there are two new skills that are not on the old sheet, which are Humint and Sigint, which is human intelligence and signal intelligence, both of which are things you might want. Look at the description of those. Let's see, skills are way up here in the front. I remember every time I tried to find them last time, I like flipped right past them because I expected them to be further back. Let's see, professions. All right. Skill packages, library. So, Humint. Dun dun dun. Humint. This human intelligence. This obtains information about a subject, especially information the subject would rather conceal. through observation, conversation, or examining patterns of behavior and relationships. So you would use human to recognize signs of dishonesty from verbal cues and body language, gauge attitude and intentions, cultivate sources of information about a subject, determine what it would take to get a subject to cooperate, or recognize clues of what a subject wants to conceal. And then SIGINT, signal intelligence, encompasses encryption, communications intelligence, electronic intelligence, surveillance of radio, digital communications, and the making of breaking of codes. It's often used in conjunction with computer science for hacking, and with craft/electrician for installing bugs and wiretaps. So also there were some of those breakdowns, like things that were individual skills in the old system are actually particular types of their sub-skills, their specialization in the new system. So a great deal of those were sciences. So in the new system, you would just go science, and then the type of science would be a specific skill.
Right.
And then the same sort of thing with craft. Craft is making and repairing sophisticated tools and structures, a job that most people can figure out does not require the craft skill. Craft is for specialized work that needs training, such as craft electrician or craft mechanic or craft locksmith. But so I think a lot of your stuff should transfer straight across, but if there's anything weird that you do not see an analog to, it may have just simply become a different skill or a subtype of
Fast talk.
fast talk.
Yes.
Might be simply
Some
persuade.
Persuade. Okay.
Dr. Bailey will be taking no additional points in HUMINT. I don't read people very well, sorry.
As long as you have dissected them first, I might be able to figure out what they were doing.
That's my preferred method
Yeah.
for dealing with interpersonal conflict. It's like, talk it out.
So I have a question. I had an 80 in biology and chemistry, and those are both in science. Do I keep my 80 in each, or do I just do science as 80?
Science
and
is
take my points
individual
elsewhere?
types of science.
Okay.
So, like, I've
each
got
one of
5
those-
box a little
entries in
bigger.
science.
Same thing
Yeah.
with like craft. You can do
Oh,
different
okay.
kinds of crafts.
Yeah.
And yeah, different skills.
Yeah. So you would now have science biology, science chemistry.
Science botany. What up? Hope there's mushrooms.
Oh, you mean in the game? I got you.
Oh, later. Talk later.
My bad. That's what.
So you guys didn't prepare?
I am not prepared. Not prepared.
So I don't know. Mark has just been staring at me for the last 45 minutes without speaking. You know.
I haven't been
He
staring
looks like
at
he's
you.
having a great time.
Staring through.
Yeah, he's looking at something that's back here.
Mark not speaking sounds like a problem.
I don't think
Same
that's
thing with me.
unprecedented. That's
Yeah.
completely
Yeah.
unprecedented.
Yep.
I'm just so confused by that.
Hey, I like to talk.
That's why we're such good friends.
It shows. I mean,
Fair enough.
Let's do a Twitch stream where nobody says anything. That'll be really
You
popular.
know, we've actually discussed having an episode like that.
Ooh, mime
Taking
time.
the Buffy the Vampire Slayer tag.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, those are the most successful episodes of anything, so do it.
Can we have the musical?
Oh, yes.
Delta Green the musical?
Oh, we are absolutely.
Oh.
Get started on that.
Absolutely.
All right,
I'm just gonna call Lin-Manuel Miranda. We're gonna
That
start
sounds like a
working on that
special event at
immediately.
do you think we can get the folks next year to do it during the celebrity game?
See, you don't want the audience making sanity rolls, right?
Yes, you do.
Or
They
you
get
do
to play as well.
Okay.
Well,
Everyone's
Make
a
them
player
sign
in
a
this
waiver to
game.
come into that session.
That's amazing.
Of course, our celebrity game is audience participation, so
That's true.
Where do we go
Have
from
to
here?
Against their
Where do
will,
we go
even.
now?
Yes.
that's awesome. Wow. I can't imagine that happening, so I'll work on it.
That's why the sanity check. Yeah. Okay.
So, how conversions looking pretty complete for
I think
some
it was
people?
pretty. I think I'm
Pretty
good.
easy,
Yeah.
pretty
I
simple.
think going this direction is easier than going the other direction.
Oh,
Like
I
if you had to
think-
convert it the
Oh,
other way,
yes.
it'd be
I think
harder.
yeah.
So,
So that's a good
and
sign.
these sheets are a
one
lot
thing
more
is-
understandable, I think, than the other ones.
I think they did a really good job with the race setup of the system and kind of like keeping the stuff that's important and simplifying some things to go. we don't really need this skill. We don't really need this skill. We don't really need this skill. We need these skills. Yeah. So, yeah, very cool. All right, so we're pretty set up.
Yep.
So recap of what we had happen last time. The players were called in to go to a place called Hudson's Well. That there was an outbreak there. There was a giant storm happening, which they decided to fly around. They were struck by lightning, the way that you are. They received some memos with information on them from the CDC, and there was a copy of an email from Dr. Keir that was fairly nonsensical, and there was also a timeline of the people at the hospital, or what had been happening at the hospital. So there were some folks that had arrived, and some people that came in, they all had the same symptoms, and there's some people that had cardiac arrest and died. And they spent their time on the helicopter doing a little research here and there to find out some information along the way. As they got they decided to fly to the hospital directly, and saw there were cars packed up leaving on the highway, the one lane in and out of this town, and called up and gave the governor a hard time about being a moron.
Which is
Pointedly not looking at Dr. Samantha.
I think the rest of the crew is probably just like, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all in total agreement.
I mean, what's your human? Come on, guys.
So arrived at touchdown at the hospital, where they saw a vehicle waiting for them and a sheriff's deputy. And still raining and stuff, but where you've flown through the worst part of it, but it's still raining and storming here, but it's not flattening things the way that you feel the heart of the storm was. So guys, touchdown, rain's coming down. Sheriff's deputy is heading towards the helicopter. She's got her hand on her hat, holding it on because the wind is blowing pretty good and the rain coming down. And she comes up, slides the door open, and you guys can proceed how you like. She's like, "Hi, I'm Officer Danica Thomas, I believe is her
That is her
last
name.
name." And what we said, yes.
Yep.
I'm Danica Thomas. Now, some of you I know were putting on a hazard suit throughout most of the last game. Is that
Put
true?
on. We are done with the donning of garb.
Was it just the one suit, or did you double suit?
Oh no, it's just the one suit, and it's
Making
just
sure.
and because Dr. Bailey is not the strongest individual, he will go with the suit with the removable cannon, the yellow suit.
Yeah.
The I'm gonna die suit, because this was a lack of forethought on my part. I should have been weightlifting. But anyways,
So is everybody? The question is, are you guys wearing hazard suits?
Yeah, don't need them when you're flying a helicopter.
Well, they would have had an opportunity to put one on in flight if they wanted to.
Right.
No.
Based on what's going on, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's, is freaked out a little bit when she sees it. She's like, "Hi, whoa, oh my."
Hey, I'm Dr. Dennis. How you doing?
Hey, don't touch me.
You can really obviously see that I've got this shoulder holster with a gun, on the outside of the suit.
On the outside
So I
of
can
the
use it.
hazard suit?
So I can use it.
nice.
Yeah, I strapped it on the outside.
Oh, that, okay. Is there things that bad? Holy crap.
Not
Do
sure
I-
yet.
Do I need to put one of those on?
Probably.
And
But we don't have one for you, sorry.
No, we do.
Oh,
we have spares.
Oh, we're nice now.
No. Wait. What? Oh.
okay.
Oh.
You do
oh,
have...
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah, no. I mean, yes. I mean, no. I mean, yes.
She
She
does
looks...
seem pretty important,
She
okay.
looks not...
Yeah.
She looks not real...
Wait. First. Real question.
Oh.
An actual question. Have you been assigned to help us?
Yes.
Oh, there's a suit right
I'm
over here.
Suit for you.
Oh, suit for you. Wow. She's kind of looking around.
I recommend
like,
the yellow suit.
Is this like going to kill all of us?
I mean, we're just taking precautions.
Yeah, it's like putting the suit on her. No, we're just taking it. Don't breathe on me. Don't breathe on me.
These two tend to go right into the heart of the matter. So they're going to be going into some of the areas that in the...
Why aren't y'all wearing suits? Thank you.
Well, generally because I don't go into the quarantined areas unless I'm needed there. Whereas these gentlemen may. Hence the suits.
Actually, that's what he's like.
That's a good one of BS.
Yes, it is. I'm really digging this.
Make a persuade roll.
Thank you for being
You
a
have
good
that.
face man.
25 out of 40.
Oh, she totally buys that. Does she totally buy
Of
that?
course, I say it rude, but because I've got a 6 charisma.
She totally buys that.
Yes.
Oh, okay, that totally makes sense. Well, there's the doctor that was in charge in the hospital's collapsed, I believe, and I think the security guards maybe barricaded the doors because there's some people outside trying to get in to the hospital.
It's probably not a good idea.
And there's people that are leaving town. There's people that are barricaded themselves in their house. Some of those people are trying to get in the hospital, they ain't sick. There's some of them that are, though, that are, I've seen coughing, and stuff, and they're trying to get in, but they can't get in either.
When you saw them, how close were they to you?
Well, I went up to kind of see what was going on, but they said that I needed to stay out here. That was more important. I meet you guys.
How many people are we talking about?
There were 7 or 8 trying to get in when I was over there a little while ago.
All right.
To the front doors.
That's one of the first things we're going to do is dispel this, so y'all can get in there and do your thing.
Yeah.
Whoa!
All we need is some kind of cowboy to come mess this up. Anyways.
Yeah, there's some really not that horrible things that require you to make sand loss rolls. Just saying.
Just the sound of a gunshot. Please roll, please.
It's like shooting at innocent people is not one of the more minor
We
ones.
shoot into the air. Like we just don't care.
So I will actually want to put on a suit at this point because I'm getting ready to go in the hospital.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna suit up. You're just gonna.
Well, no, there was a house that burned down or something, right? We wanted to go.
Well,
investigate
so
that?
we wanted to go check out. I think what I was kind of figuring Bailey would do is.
Do you think that's
at
related?
Least, with some of the information that we have been looking into, it looks like it's possible. And I'm kind of downplaying it because I don't want to freak her out or anything, but at the same time.
She's already pretty freaked out.
Okay, so it looks like there was a high energy physics experiment that went wrong, and we have no idea why that was caused.
She makes a sanity check. Wait, what?
But there is another house that we wanted to go check out. But at the same time, I think we should all check in at the hospital, see what's going on, and then we can split the party from there.
You would kind of know that, you are sort of, your mandate pretty much tells you that you want to do a couple of things. You want to identify what's going on, contain what's going on, and locate, where it came from.
The source.
Yeah, locate the source. That's pretty much sums up what your job is. How you decide to do your job is up to you, but that's sort of what the mandate of a fever team is when you go into one of these situations. So absolutely calling the governor, that would be part of the step of containing what's going on.
I figure, go to the hospital is where you go to. We can see what it is. We're at the hospital.
One of the things we do,
and then the other investigation.
You do know that there's a whole bunch of victims at the hospital.
Yeah.
Well, we also need to make sure that the people who are sick that are trying to get in can, and those who aren't sick stay away. So I think that's one of the first things we're going to need to do, just so they can unbarricade the door, so you guys can get in.
Yeah.
Is
Well, there's
other entrances.
yeah. I mean, I can take you
Going through
around
the
to
loading
a
dock.
place that's not obvious to get you into the hospital, and then if you just want how you want to
That's
handle.
We could rappel from the helicopter onto the roof.
No, we're not doing that.
Wow.
I've always wanted to, though.
You just fly over the roof
Do it
really
on your
low
own
and just
time.
jump out. He
Ah.
works for French paratroopers. Surely it would work for you.
Obviously, look
Obviously
at the level
for
of training
you.
I've got now.
You've
Okay,
got a
sorry, bad
containment
idea.
suit
My bad.
on that protects you from falling.
Yeah, exactly.
If I
No,
inflate it, it's like a
no,
giant
it
marshmallow
doesn't.
surrounding
No,
my body.
Not
no,
at
it
all.
isn't.
Not
The
at
Michelin
all.
Man.
That's a
Yeah.
proper use of a containment suit.
Stay Puft Marshmallow Man! Anyways.
She pulls out her pad, starts writing notes about
I'm
it.
gonna get rid up so many times, but it's not gonna matter because Dr. Bailey is gonna be so dead. Anyways, I would like to be on the team that goes to check out the house,
Way
though.
to stay positive, by the way.
Oh, dude, there is a bright, shining silver lining to every horrible Cthulhuid entity that's out there.
It's my favorite part because you can see it first.
Yeah, you know it's coming.
So I'm gonna
So-
put a couple of the spare suits in a case and bring it with us
Good idea. Really
because
good idea.
we could get compromised or something.
Okay.
Mhm.
So she basically says that she can get you into the hospital, and then whatever you decide about the people outside that
And-
are barricaded. So I don't think there's a whole lot of people in charge inside the hospital. So I think
Yeah,
when you
I'm
go
gonna
in
go.
there,
I'm gonna go in and
you're
take
gonna
charge.
be in
I
charge.
feel like
Yeah, I'm gonna
yes.
go in and take charge.
Yes.
So I mean, if you decide whatever you decide about the barricade, I can help you with
Right.
because I know everybody and.
Small town?
Yeah.
Small
Very
town.
small town.
Yeah, actually, the way the airstrip is described, it is for small aircraft and helicopters only. Like, you could not land a jet here unless it was like vertical takeoff landing.
I know,
This is a
I know what
small
that
town.
airport looks like.
The hometowns
So
are
what stuff do
cool.
we want to take in? I mean, we've got backup suits, and
I'm sure the
there's
hospital
little
has supplies
portable
too
lab.
if we need more.
Yeah,
Yes,
like a
the
portable
portable
lab.
lab is cool.
The hospital has some cool stuff, but I don't think
We
we
have
have
I bet we have better.
We have better
Yeah,
stuff.
we have
Yeah.
better stuff.
Yeah.
We're taking all our stuff.
Probably the primary thing they'll have in the hospital that you could make use of would be other oxygen.
Like
So
to plug your suit into.
I'm
it.
assuming
Yeah, I'm not
they
taking
have
that
like,
suit.
like
I've got the
slides
self-contained
and,
suit.
and
Yeah, I mean, it's a
suit?
hospital,
Yeah.
so most
You were
medical
making fun of me
type
the
stuff.
entire flight. No.
Y'all have a portable, like, lab essentially, but you'll be able, we can leave that in a helicopter because we can go in there and use all their facilities. The only thing you have that would definitely be superior is that
Treatment options.
that-
Doomsday bag.
that doomsday box bag that has more stuff in it than they would have. You would want it, definitely.
Well,
But your own
no,
lab
no,
stuff,
no,
you could leave out here. You would feel
Okay.
even a small
Doomsday
town
bag.
hospital is going to have everything
spare
you
suits.
need
Those are
for
my hands.
examining stuff.
The portable diagnostic lab. Like, are we talking suit? And you may have just covered this. Like suitcase size. Could I carry it fairly easily?
One of them is several suitcases.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that
Probably
those
like a
large
rolling-
military boxes.
Because like for like going
They have
out
rollers.
into the world, maybe we
I'm
could
sure
take
it's got
that
wheels
with
and
us.
That could
stuff
actually be
like
important.
that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you guys have like portable computers, and you have your sat phones and stuff, and then you have the diagnostic lab is several bulky, heavy black cases,
Okay.
and then you have the bag of exotic and restricted pharmaceuticals that
Yes.
y'all call the doomsday bag.
I call it a Tuesday night.
The Tuesday bag.
Yes.
I take the doomsday bag and I sneak away from everyone else.
My precious.
Yes.
My precious.
It's half used. What happened?
There's a lot of
Travis.
fun.
Bad things happen.
Bad things, man.
It was a
We
Tuesday.
never saw his character again.
Surprise. Go
Shotgun!
to that island. Anyways.
Yeah. So, make your way into the hospital, and there is some chaos happening. There's people like yelling, and there's like nurses are kind of like. I mean, nurses sort of run in the world and save. They're the ones keeping everybody alive anyway, and it's probably a good thing they're here because everything else is running amok, and it's not obvious. There's obviously not nearly enough doctors and nurses here, and but when they see you coming in, you guys come in all in your yellow or blue suits, and they're somewhat taken aback or happy, depending on who they are and knowing who you are as you come in, and they identify yourselves and everything, and they sort of take you to set up someplace, and You know, they're like, no, you know, Doctor, so the guy that y'all spoke to on the phone, which is Strickland. Dr. Strickland has collapsed. You are able to tell right off the bat that of the people that you had information on there, the Maury girls have all died. The Cortezes are both dead. Emily Langsville is dead.
Is anybody alive?
Pauldron, Maya Pauldron is in. There's a couple of people on there that you have their names. Ahmad Maruf from the donut shop. Maya Pauldron, which was the doctor from earlier that
the night shift
got sick.
Position,
And Steve Embry. Which I don't remember which one he was. But those are names that are on your list who are still alive, who are in bad,
critical condition,
bad
essentially.
shape.
Yeah.
Are they even conscious?
They are not,
No.
and you expect most of them are going in and out of consciousness, and from what the charts and stuff you're given and information you're given, you're like, these guys are
Not long
they
for this.
yeah they have an hour.
Yeah, I
Or two
definitely
before
want to
they're
start like looking at blood work, doing like.
Well, the people
Yes.
that are in horrible shape, if you're a great doctor, you can do something to make them hang on longer.
Oh, okay.
You know, you could keep them alive. You could question them. You know, it's sort of depending on what y'all want to do.
Finger guns at the great doctor over there.
Oh, okay.
This one's only got like an
Oh,
hour.
no, guys,
Whoa!
this is like the you got this, not the you got this.
But there are like 12 more people that you had not heard of before in the hospital at this point already.
So how are they
sick.
separated from the rest of the people who aren't exhibiting these symptoms?
They have one of the things the doctors did as they realized something awful was happening was they started triaging and going, you may have it and you're staying here quarantined. You don't appear to have any of the symptoms whatsoever. We are sending you off to the other hospital.
So is the quarantine zone, like, does it have its own air supply? Is it like somehow
It is
separated from the
just
rest
the
of the
hospital.
It's just a
I
separate
think
room.
That one of the things that apparently has happened is the barricading was to keep out people that did not have symptoms at all, that were trying to force their way in.
So what about people who didn't have the disease who were already in the hospital?
Before it got shut down, they shipped everybody out that didn't appear to have any symptoms.
Other than staff.
And we know where they went?
Yeah, there's one other hospital in town.
I would like to try and see whether or not any of those people are
Okay.
sick. Because the quarantine facilities
Right.
here are not.
Bespoke.
bespoke.
They are.
Could
They are handcrafted.
could Dr. Bailey get on the phone and help you out with that? Because that's just a quick phone call, and then
Yeah,
we,
I
and just,
actually
like,
maybe
logistical
I
stuff.
want to look at some of the sicker patients and see if maybe I can do something to prolong their life, and then the rest of you guys maybe can figure out.
Yeah, if there's stuff that can be handled by, like, I just need to talk to somebody else. You have a very certain set of skills,
Yeah.
and it's quite the opposite of the lead.
She will find you.
and she will kill you.
Hey, that is one of my motivations: healing others.
Yes.
And
Oh, I'm
curing
like,
disease.
wow,
Yeah.
it is?
So,
I will
less-
find them and
Less
I will
time
kill
on
them.
less time on the phone for you,
Yeah.
more time with patients for you.
Yeah. All right. So,
So you can kind of, and sort of, that's what we're looking for. Is like, okay, you can come into the hospital and do a time dump doing some things.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things you could do is go, hey, you know,
patient treatment.
I want to try to keep these patients alive.
Dig deep into that doomsday bag.
Yeah. And so, you know, you probably can reasonably have a person try to keep a couple of people concentrating on. But it's going to be picking and choosing.
So we're effectively mechanics-wise kind of back in the same situation as we were in the helicopter, right? Okay,
Sort
you've got some
of.
time. Tell
It's-
me what you're doing.
Yeah, because it's some of the things like making some phone calls and stuff. You're not talking about a great deal of time to like
Yeah, this is gonna be
call
like 20 minutes
around, but then
to
you
get
go.
information, yeah.
But I want to keep people alive.
Right.
That's a time dump.
Right.
I want to go through samples and try to break down what I can about the disease and analyze it and stuff like that. That's a time dump.
Sure.
So there's some things like that you can do depending on what you want to do.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
Cool.
So bearing in mind that sort of what your mandate is, what you're here for, what do you want to do with your time? So it's like, I'm going to spend some hours doing this.
I think I need to take the physicist out to that burnt down house and see if we can figure out what he was doing.
That sounds good. That means not being here, which seems safer than being here. I'd say like
The sheriff's deputy overhears you, and she says, "Well, that house burnt down. I think it's yesterday." She said, there's been a little bit of investigation done. I've heard a few things. I mean, I know that the lady that lived there apparently set it on fire herself, and she just went around and took stuff that would burn and set it up around her house and set it on fire and went into the basement. That's where they found her body. But the weird thing is when she went in the basement, she turned off the gas. So it didn't explode. I mean, she set a fire to burn the place down, but it didn't explode.
She didn't want there to be collateral
burned
damage,
down
right?
everything.
That sounds reasonable. Metagaming.
I don't know if there's
Sounds crazy.
something
In
else
the
you're
world.
interested in finding. I don't know if there's something else you're interested in finding out about, but it seemed pretty obvious from what the fire department found there that she went around and took stuff that would burn and just set it up around her house and set it all on fire.
I think this is his way of telling us not to go there.
I'll totally take you there. I don't know what other information it is that you're trying to get about the house. Or did you think she had this disease and killed herself or something?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's what I would do. I mean,
That was an insight.
It makes a lot of sense if you have the data, but we don't have the data yet, so maybe it
there's
doesn't make
evidence
sense.
that her home was near the center of of where things were happening, and we need to investigate everything, even if it's a possible coincidence.
okay.
Yeah, she seemed to have symptoms before everyone else.
Sorry, remind me. So she sent that email from her house, correct? Or no?
Well, we don't know if it's from her house. It was
I don't
from
think
her.
we know where.
It was from her Caltech mail account, but
Because
She could have been logged into the
She could have
server,
been logged into
from
it,
home
yeah.
or whatever. So you.
yeah, because what I'm trying to figure out is okay. So maybe she got sick and was like, okay, I know I'm sick. I'm going to burn myself down and kill whatever has infected me, but also I'm going to turn the gas off so I don't do collateral damage. But where did she actually get sick? Was she doing stuff at her house, or was there
In
a
her
lab
lab.
that we need to go find?
well, I think the place to start is at the house.
Mhm.
See what's going on there.
Okay.
While y'all do, keep people alive type things here and try to figure out more
I'm
about
gonna
the
play with
disease.
beakers and crazy colored fluids. It's gonna be fun. It's like Potions Lab.
Yes, research montage.
Yes, exactly.
'Cause my assumption is we're nowhere near Caltech. Is that true?
We're
Well,
in Arizona somewhere.
Yeah.
You're
So
in
we're
Arizona,
nowhere
so-
near.
Yeah.
Pasadena.
But
Caltech, any of that.
didn't
didn't
they have a
wasn't there like how A&M has multiple satellite
Campuses.
campuses? Was that what was going on? Because I thought
don't-
I remember you saying
My
something like
character
that, but I could
did
be
a
wrong.
big thing last night, trying to find that stuff out, and it was hitting on all his skills.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I totally went to Stanford and knew
Mhm,
somebody, and blah 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 blah. And he's a
Mhm.
physicist, and
Mhm.
yada yada yada.
Yeah.
So
So because I recall you got specific information about
the lab?
her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And where she worked.
we knew she was working on some special research
Let me
project.
see.
I don't know if we know where the lab was. I guess that's the real question.
Yeah.
Let's see what it says about her.
Tell us your life story in detail.
Once upon a time.
Very beginning.
Only the interesting parts.
Give me the highlights.
Yeah.
Let's see. flying spells. Rosamund Kayert. You found out she was a professor at Caltech who was pursuing a research project on a grant from Sandia National Laboratories. You found out that she had a doctorate in theoretical physics thanks to a dissertation on gravitino detection using chronal topography, a theoretical approach. Research the victims. That's all that you found out about her.
Check the house out. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
we're
you're
gonna
right.
check the house out. Yeah, start there.
Then you want to get started on trying to see if you can figure out what the.
Yeah, you and I should work
Pathogen is,
together
and
at the
then-
hospital. I
yeah.
think he's right. We're the best team to actually do that, and then you guys can go.
As much
But
as
cop
I,
it up.
Yeah.
Science the shit out of this.
much as I would love to try and save like the people who are sickest right now, I think we're better served by trying to figure out what the nature of the pathogen is. We can save more people that way.
I agree with you. So, have a business.
All right.
To defeat
The
the Huns.
Huns.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys in the hospital you're not going to treat victims.
Right.
So,
I'm gonna examine them as they die
You're
horribly.
I laugh. They can't see because the mask is fogged up, but I laugh.
They think you're crying.
Wow.
Yeah, that's yeah, that's what it looks like.
It's just you're
My
crying.
whole shoulder's shaking. I'm actually playing like
That's
Angry Birds
awesome.
inside my suit.
Let's
Dr. Bailey is a
see.
sociopath.
It's probably the best person to have doing this job, honestly. You're there and just like all empathetic and be like, "Oh my God, the humanity!" But you wouldn't get anything done.
Not true.
You just die too.
Dr. House in the house. Not lupus. Just remember that.
Not lupus.
It's never lupus, except for what it is.
Well, let's see. So working on them, you can kind of, since there's two of you, you could do a couple of things at the same time. One of you, let's see. And basically work on trying to determine how they came by the illness and what effects it is having on them.
Ooh, what system is it?
And that is, you are looking for medicine for that.
I barely have any medicine. You got
And
me
then
beat
there's
there.
examining the infection.
Poking with a stick. I think it's infected.
Which is basically doing lab work, which is
Mhm.
taking blood, tissue samples, all that stuff, and that is science biology.
I got biology. I
So
can
that's
do
the
that.
two things.
I think you have it better than me, but I can't do the medicine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got 81 medicine and an 80 biology.
I have a 60 biology, but my medicine is
The standard.
What is
0%?
a bandage?
No medicine.
Yeah,
0%.
I'll do that.
It's like I can prescribe the best drugs, but I can't tell you what they're gonna help you with.
And no, you can't prescribe the best drugs.
I have pharmacy 40% right here. Anyway, oh yeah, that's right. I can
pharmacy
dispense.
70%.
I can dispense the best
Yes.
drugs. You are like you
Yes.
have got me beat. I am
I'll
your
write the
Padawan.
prescription. You go ahead and dispense.
That's right. And so
Excellent.
now you guys are
One
going to
for
go back
you,
out to
one
the
for me.
helicopter
Yes.
and fly over to the burn house.
We're
Are you going to drive?
gonna drive.
Okay.
Stop. Ooh, well you can.
We don't want to just like land the helicopter in the middle of the street
That'd be cool.
on top of the house. Ah, it's burned down anyway.
That's a little more conspicuous than
So
the guy driving
you
around
guys
with
stay
bush.
here and work on the deadly disease that's killing everyone, and we'll fly over to the burn house to check that out. Vegas? Vegas.
I think Officer Thomas should drive us.
Yeah,
I think that's
she
the way
is
to go.
totally willing to do that.
She's got flashy lights and all kinds of nice stuff. So.
Yeah.
Pew pew. Yeah.
So y'all hop in the car with her. She drives you across town. She
Weird
takes you
here.
to she takes you to the burned out house.
The burned outhouse?
The burned out.
Ooh,
The
it
burned
smells real
out-
bad. It smells real bad.
It's a really small town. I feel.
Ugh. Jeez.
She
Now
said
it's
she went
all the
downstairs.
outhouses.
That means something way worse.
It's nothing but euphemisms in this town. I don't speak the language. Ugh.
Let's see. She, as you talk to her, going across her, she says, you know, that she knows a whole lot of people. She says, I didn't really know Dr. Kayart, though, not personally. I knew who she was.
Sheriff.
Sheriff.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
Danica.
I thought we were there already. Okay.
Yeah,
never mind.
Danica.
Yeah.
So she takes you to the house, and you get out. She, you know, walks around. It is, there's not much left. It is burnt down, like serious. There was no playing around involved. This place is burnt
Doused
down.
the whole thing in kerosene. top
She
to bottom.
says, yeah, the pretty much what it looks like is, you know, she went around, she dumped every accelerant she could find along the perimeter of her house and garage, and weirdly looks like she decided then to go down into the basement and shut down the gas lines. She seemed to want everything to burn, but not for the fire to explode or spread. And it is nuked. I mean, the whole place is cinders.
So the basement burned down.
Well, you know, it's collapsed into,
Oh.
you know, timbers and stuff all fell in, and there's smoke still coming out of it. You know, it's still warm.
Cozy.
Yeah.
Cozy.
How nice are these suits?
They're
Not fireproof.
not fireproof and
I
not
didn't say it was on fire anymore.
not
No.
none.
They're not volcano
non-terrible.
suits.
You're gonna
This
be
wasn't like from the Star Trek where he was inside the volcano.
They're
and he had to shoot
clumsy
him.
and
Yes.
large and terrible.
yeah. You're gonna be real
Not
careful
terrible,
crawling through
terrible.
a burning house.
I gotcha.
Horrible.
They're terrible in both ways.
Yes.
Got
But yeah, she says, you know, there's not a whole lot left here, and they removed her. You know, I believe they removed her remains, are actually in the bottom of the hospital.
Alright, well, we're gonna take we're gonna look around.
Yeah,
And see if we
absolutely.
can find anything.
Yes. I'm hoping
People
like
start
chemistry.
getting sick
You
before
say
or
occasionally
after her
see-
body came to the hospital.
Yeah,
Oh, don't say that. I'm in the hospital.
Yeah, we should call real quick and say, Shh, by the way, you know, Lady So-and-so's burned corpses in the hospital somewhere. Can you go just check on it and make sure it's still there? Hasn't walked away yet.
What? Are you out of your mind?
I was just kidding.
Doctor, you read too many fantasy novels.
But seriously, can you just, you know, make sure that it's still
Well-
there? Maybe examine it or something?
hasn't escaped yet.
As soon as we'll get, but that'll
Oh, I know
We're
you're
very
I'm
busy.
a little
I know you're very busy
right
saving
now.
people,
yeah,
right?
that'll go on the list.
Uh-huh.
Well, greater than zero probability that she may be the source. So,
Jeez.
No, I mean like Bailey bought into that. I'm trying to make a Beetle Bailey joke, and it's not coming. But so, like, yeah, we'll go take a look at the.
He's
bottom,
like,
joking
I'm taking samples from corpses already.
aside. I'm in the morgue
He's
right
doing
now.
all the biology stuff.
Mhm.
okay.
He's like,
good.
I'll look around and see if I can find her. And
I mean, at the very least,
from
even if
too.
her corpse is burnt to a crisp, maybe we can find some evidence of,
some kind of
the
tissue somewhere.
disease.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Take a
exactly.
bone marrow sample of everything else.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just what
But
you
yeah,
know, you're
looking
looking for, you can
around
check.
out at the burnt
Sure,
house,
sure.
at the burnt out house area, you don't really find
I
anything
can't
else
hear it
interesting.
any differently now. Anyways.
Burnt out house.
Yes, exactly. Thank you for that.
Looking around at the burnt out house.
It makes it so much more
Okay,
interesting.
we all have to get shirts that say burnt out house crew.
Nobody really wants to go.
I like that we've got a team name. That makes
We
me
should
happy.
like draw a little like half of an outhouse with like, you know, burnt
Smoldering
cinders and
and-
smoke coming off of it.
Like the little half moon is on fire. Anyways,
So that's examining the house.
Yeah.
Is there anything else in particular y'all want to do?
Yeah.
I'll talk to the neighbors.
Yep.
Okay.
In your bubble suits.
Oh yeah.
I'm not in my bubble.
Oh, I am.
You're not in a bubble suit?
I'm not in a
Okay,
bubble suit.
but you are.
Oh yeah.
He's like, go talk to random people.
oh man,
I just want
Knock,
to see if
knock,
anybody
knock.
knew where she
Yeah, of
worked.
course, you're outside in the. like, Mama, bring the shotgun. The aliens is back.
So what's this?
Well, back. What the hell does that mean?
Weird stuff happens in
Whoa.
this
That
town.
actually would be useful information. Like, okay.
I found the source. They call everyone, no, there were aliens here yesterday, and people are dying today. I'm writing up my report and going home.
We're done here. Vegas? Vegas.
All right, so let's see. So you guys in the hospital,
For sure.
you are... Let's see, let's go here. Let's start with examining the victims because you're checking out the living patients.
Okay.
You are looking for a medicine test.
Medicine. All right. 48,
48.
and my medicine is 81, so that is under my medicine, and I am successful.
Okay, so basically, well, this is going to be a couple of hours of working here and looking at things and stuff, but your conclusion at the end of it, you are able to rule out everything except viruses and bacteria. So you know that it is unlikely to be prion-based because it is coming on way too fast.
And not a parasite.
Everything except viruses and bacteria.
A lot of stuff.
Yep.
That leaves a lot of stuff, unfortunately.
There's a lot of viruses and bacteria.
Yeah. Now we get to go and look at blood samples.
And at the end of a few of those hours, several of the people that were in bad shape have died. Yes. Everybody that was in really bad shape passes away. You are doing biology work, examining the infection by checking out blood and tissue samples from living and dead, running them through every test you can get your hands on.
So we're doing this work in
Science,
parallel, so
biology,
her
yes.
information is not influencing my information
Exactly.
at this point. Okay, good to know. Percentile dice, here comes the biology. 99. That's a 64.
Oh, damn.
Wah, wah.
What's your skill?
60.
Oh, so that's a failure.
Yep.
Hey, don't
Okay.
you get to put like a little check mark next to it? Because
I
you
learned a
failed?
thing!
Oh, you failed!
Yay!
Check
Failing
mark!
is good!
I suck at this! Yay!
Thank you. That's what
But it's
that's
not
there
a fumble. Fumbles are my favorite. Bear in mind, fumbles are my favorite. Just saying.
Yes, they are.
Just saying.
Right on, Terry.
However, with failure, the information you get is... Oh. You don't get any information yet. You are... She works for 4 or 5 hours, and you're like, yeah, I'm...
Reading a comic book. I'm playing Angry Birds!
I
Playing
know.
Angry Birds in my suit.
Y'all, I mean, this is information that's going to take me 10, 12 hours at least to get.
Oh, yeah, because I'm like running samples and putting it. Yeah, that's gonna do. Anyways,
When I get
the
done,
agar
can I
plates
go
are
help
not
him?
developed.
Put the pipettes over here, Damon.
Yeah, I'll let you go help in a little bit.
Okay.
So you guys out at the house. Oh, you went to talk. That's
Talking
right.
neighbors.
Talking to neighbors.
Because the whole Caltech thing could just be a red herring. It could actually just like some neighbor kid created a horrible virus in his basement. I don't know. Basements around here are pretty interesting.
brought a pet home from the outdoors.
Yeah,
Really
bitter.
shouldn't have.
Awesome. So agents that want to talk to people and get a sense of what happened, when, how, etc., can roll a human
Oh, good.
Perfect.
All right.
test. Now, since both of y'all are doing that, you both will get to roll
Oh, that'll be
and take the
great.
best one.
Oh, that's nice.
However, if you fumble, you will ignore your result
Yeah.
unless you roll a fumble. So both of you get to roll human, and you get to use the best one
Awesome.
for the result. But if you fumble, you keep your fumble.
I got 30.
Yeah, 59.
Okay.
So 2 failures.
Yes.
2 failures. Neither one of you made a human. Okay. So
Mine is 10. So
yay!
You start preaching about
What if they use
pistol wielding
persuasion?
Jesus.
What if they use persuasion rather than human? Because they're trying
Nah.
to get people to talk to them.
that's true. We're not trying to determine if they're lying so much as we're just asking basic information questions.
Yeah. Because part of it is that it is a result of talking to a whole bunch of people and then gathering together what you think happened from talking to
3 of them told
a
us
whole
about the
bunch of
infected
people.
parasite, but I don't
So
believe
it's
them.
not necessarily persuading them to
Did you
tell
believe
you
anybody
anything.
ever?
It's you going, oh well, he mentioned this, but she mentioned that, and putting those things together, sort of information.
And doing it
but
with a
even
smile.
with the failure, what you get is that the donut shop was clearly the hub of contagion via Ahmad Malouf.
Donut shop time.
Dozens of the people in the hospital and all had an interaction with him. That either somebody that directly went into the donut shop and came back out and interacted with him that day, or that went in the donut shop themselves. You do get a little bit of gossip of, I heard that, he's, claims that he, washed his hands and was sanitized that day and is has been in the hospital crying for hours because, he knows he's going to die, but he knows that, all these other people are going to die too, and it's his fault.
And he's not dead yet?
He's dead by the time y'all will get back to the
He was
hospital.
He was one of the
ones that was in bad
Maybe
shape.
his place. Because
Yeah.
the donut shop might be the place where he interacted with a lot of people, but maybe his house or his work. Not his work. His house or, I don't know.
Well, I think we start
His
with
vet.
we start with the donut shop because that was clearly the hub.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, it's all
Yes.
the donut shop's closed. Well, the only guy that worked there evidently
Get there
was in the
I'll take
hospital.
a donut. Dang it.
I'll let. However, I'll
But word is spread through the community. Which is how they
yeah.
get that. Oh, so and so was at the donut, and this guy went to the, and this lady went and then went around house to house, on a drive for the school, and that she probably was infected, and then she went to all these houses doing that, but they all went back to the donut shop. That whoever that guy got sick, he had evidently infected a great deal of people. Plus, it's the only place to go get hurt. It's a little crappy town.
They got tacos and donuts and kolaches.
Two
Oh.
hospitals, one donut shop.
That's right.
I wonder if there's some conspiracy theory that I've been working on that involves donut shops.
Please spin me that tale. I need it in my life. Start that website.
And so you will also, at the end of this, 3 or 4 hours, find out over her radio and stuff that National Guard has begun closing down road in and out of town and stuff, and cars have been come back to town. So there's some,
Containment.
there's some guys that I'm sure are driving their 4-wheel drive out over the
Oh, yeah.
shitty road. It's not the direct
Control,
highway out
right.
of town, but there's some stuff happening because the call to the governor. So back in the hospital. So at the end of talking to people and stuff, what do y'all want to do?
Donuts?
Head over to the donut shop.
Okay.
Since this may be the center of things, I'm not going to go in without the hazmat suit.
So you're
Good
gonna
idea.
drive back to.
No, I
Oh,
got the
y'all
case.
brought some with you.
They took some with them. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Jeff, why don't you make me a con check?
I'll help him go on.
Contact!
I'll help him put it on.
That's not for that.
It's don't want. See?
Aha! 14!
14.
Nice.
That's good enough.
That's pretty awesome, actually.
What's your
Barely passed.
My kind of saves.
The 13, but I assume it's under the 65 that you're after? The 5 times?
No, but it's still good enough.
Okay. Under the 13?
What?
Wow. Okay.
Dr. Bailey has this weird sense that he should never ever take his suit off ever again. He doesn't know where it comes from, but it's there.
So you guys are heading to the donut shop. Back in the hospital, you want to, you've finished examining people, and you're like, you go down.
And
He's
he
like,
still doesn't have any results. I'm like,
he's
what's
like, it takes a while for cultures to grow. It's
You're
not like
doing it wrong.
magic.
Oh my god! So I'm gonna.
It's been years since microbiology.
You want to
You
help?
get like a lamp and you put it over the samples and they
Do you
start
know how long
running
it's
10
been
times as
since I've
fast.
tried to use the swab on an auger freaking... Whatever, I don't know anymore.
I'm doing in this job, and oh my god. I'm gonna try.
You're also going to make a biology roll?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Because he failed.
Yeah.
Is this... Now that she's
You know, it's
down
just
here,
one of
can
the
we do the
workers'
same
back
thing
up.
where...
The assist thing.
Yeah, the assist
It
thing?
sort of
Yeah.
is an assist.
Oh,
You
okay.
killed it.
Nice.
It's a 10 and a 0.
It's 10.
Okay.
Because you have double zeros on there would be 100.
That'd be bad.
Oh,
The ultimate
bad.
bad.
Great! I mean bad.
Hilarious.
I love...
So if this
From a certain point of view.
so what's a critical success? A 0,
It's
0
matching.
and a 1?
Oh.
So a 0-1 is a crit.
This
And
is
then-
0, 1.
No.
That's a 1-0.
Oh.
There you go. Oh, look at that. Yep.
Yeah, a 0-1 is a critical, and then matching numbers
Okay.
that are under your skill.
Okay.
All right. Well, matching numbers are critical. If it's under your
Fail.
skill, it's a
It's
success.
success.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that is
This
a
is how you do
success. So you look at it and you realize that
Left to
with
right. Got
the
it.
way that he has set things up, it will take like a day, 24 hours for the cultures to grow, which is twice as long as it should take because of this temperature is off here and these. No, you slap his hands away and say, instruct him on how to do it correctly. But you do realize that he was doing it where it would be tomorrow instead of it should take 12 hours for cultures to grow.
Does she correct it fast enough to get the results
In 12 hours instead of 24.
Yes, nice.
It's essentially I'm treating it as an assist where she comes in and you didn't do anything to destroy it. She
Turn
just
the
goes,
oven to broil.
Well,
Microbes like 700 degrees, right?
yeah.
I also have an idea of what I'm looking for, or at least what I'm not looking for.
Exactly.
So.
Good point.
And success. In 12 hours total. So
Does
you've
that
got
take
about 8 hours to go.
Does that essentially take both of our working for the next, I
Yeah.
guess, 8 hours?
Yeah,
we're
'cause
working on this now.
Yeah. You're basically working in tandem
Sniping
now.
back and forth at each other. I'm pissed,
Exactly.
she's pissed, but we're gonna get great results. Right, Terry? Right, Terry?
You're probably going to get results.
Right, Terry? Yeah, I'm good.
Great, in my opinion.
Excellent. That's really what I'm looking for.
The cultures attack.
The cultures attack us. You beat me to it. Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so let's see.
That
You
would never
guys
happen.
want to go
Nope.
to the donut
Andromeda strain.
shop.
What's that?
We're going in.
It's like your Lord Helmet cosplay from Spaceballs.
Exactly.
I'm not even back to the teacher.
This really
Forgotten
needs
about that. That was hilarious.
Yes. I am. Are there crawlers in the donut shop?
Probably don't want to eat anything.
we'll bring some
in
back
that
for you.
shop.
Did you say crawlers or
Ooh,
crawlers?
donuts!
Because that sounds better.
The crawlers have turned into crawlers.
Ah! Make another Constitution save.
It wasn't me.
I failed. Oh, it was worth it.
He's just in there
Delicious
going,
filling.
yeah, I'm fine. I'm looking for evidence. Just,
Nope, doesn't
No,
taste infected.
that doesn't taste bad. No.
That doesn't taste infected.
Doesn't taste
yeah.
infected.
Apparently sugar kills it, whatever it is.
The alien's downfall.
He's
A
just
donut.
licking surfaces to see if they seem diseased.
This surface is
High fructose
definitely
corn syrup.
diseased.
That's what did it. That's what got him.
Can't metabolize it.
So, donut shop's all closed up. Go in, and the sheriff's deputy is like, we can just go in and look around.
You should wait out here.
Unless she wants to put a suit on.
She puts a suit on when you
She's got
offer
the
to
suit
let
on.
her have
Oh,
a
good,
suit.
Oh,
good,
okay.
good.
Yeah, as soon as y'all said there was a suit available at the hospital, she wanted that.
She just like re-rezzed with it on.
She's like,
Very
you
much,
guys
yeah.
have suits on. I want a suit.
Smart lady.
Because
Yeah.
she's not stupid.
Yeah,
Smart
y'all
lady.
pretty much, at the helicopter said, oh, Yeah, we haven't.
you
You're going
really-
to take us around places?
We're gonna rely on you. You should stay alive.
You should put a suit on.
Yeah.
We have one.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and so she's put a suit on.
4, right?
Yeah, she's
Whatever.
like, it's
Yeah,
really
six.
hard driving in this, but you know,
You know what else
she's
is hard?
wearing a suit.
Being dead.
Yeah, she is happily.
I think being dead's easy.
Being dead is
Becoming dead is hard.
easy. And
That's
that
actually
is
pretty
definitely
easy, too.
hard. All I'm saying
Yeah.
is death is easy, life is harder. Anyways.
So why don't we use a because she's kind of taken over and set things straight, so she could be concentrating on running that department now. So why don't we have you 3 guys make what used to be called an idea roll, which is your percentage next to your int. Is that 5 times the int or less?
Are you pointing at me? Is it
all
me?
3 of you.
Oh, okay.
I critted it.
Yeah,
Crit!
In a good way.
Oh.
Good for me.
Sorry, and I wasn't paying
It's
attention.
like, you know, it's a really good idea.
Donuts. Donuts
Percentile
are a
roll?
good idea.
That's a 15. That's
15,
nice.
that's a success. Right.
Is your
Your
above
insight.
3?
My
really high.
intelligence is 15.
So,
Is that-
yes, that's
So
45 or
So
less.
5
Yes,
times.
there we go. Got it.
Or no,
Okay.
75.
75
Yeah.
or less.
Yeah. So yeah, you make it. You crit.
It's 17.
I failed.
75.
You failed. And he's like, "We should drive around more. This is cool. It's not at the hospital where the
Where the
people are
scary
dying."
stuff is.
Exactly.
I get you on the phone and I'm like, I don't know what you're doing, but stop, do this.
Let's see. So you are kind of like there. She's kind of coming in and taking.
I'm like taking notes. Okay, this is what I was doing wrong.
And
It's
then
like I'm not mad or angry at all. This is not, but it's like okay, I'm not really focusing on this
Oh
anymore.
yeah,
That's where
yeah.
your 1% bump
And
came from.
so the thing that you think of.
The opening hook for my fantasy novel. Been working on it for years.
um, let's see which one of these you are better. Oh wait.
I can tell you.
Yeah, I'm looking for what skills they're looking for.
Oh, I can absolutely tell you that.
So y'all did that.
Mm-hmm.
Mathematics?
Nope.
You have mathematics? Science,
I bet the physicist has
You have science
mathematics.
mathematics?
I have science mathematics. No, I don't have science mathematics.
I have science physics, which
Science.
is really, really hard to get a PhD in physics without knowing math pretty darn well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Says the physicist.
Any of y'all
Wasn't
have
Einstein a physicist? And
anthropology?
he was awful at math, wasn't he?
Well, he
No, he was really good.
He was
at
really
math,
good at it. He just
actually.
wasn't
That's
as
a-
awesome as some
Yeah.
of the people that he worked with.
He was pretty dang good at math.
Either one of y'all take anthropology?
Negative.
Negative.
Ballistics?
That's exactly like him. Apology.
Yes.
It just depends if the corpse is in motion.
Forensics.
Got that. 40%.
Forensics.
Yeah.
40%. So the thing that occurs to you is that
Body motion stays in motion.
after going out and talking to all these people and getting the gathering of information that you do have, that you did come up with about people moving around and people getting sick and who went where and who did what, is that you might be able to take that and crunch that data up to track the geographic spread of the illness through time with what y'all gathered in the field.
Is it possible I already just did it in my head with a crit success?
Well,
Yes.
what it will be is what it will do
It's like a
is
numbers
that I
moment.
won't make you re-roll to see
Well,
what
the sheriff
you get
happens to have a
when you
map
go
of
and
the town in
take
their
that
car.
information and
Okay.
start
You just
And
like
he whips out
I'm
that
put the
confident.
map.
map together and start going.
I'm
poke,
confident
poke,
I can do
poke,
it,
poke,
yeah.
poke, 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 poke. You're like, oh, you know what? You have a map? Oh yeah, it's right there. We need to get someplace where I can spread this out.
Car hood is the normal place.
He's like,
countertop in the donut shop.
Like
Oh, yeah.
Tommy Lee
I need
Jones
some place where I
to
can
spread it
spread
out
this
for
out.
you
And
and
you hear
start
this
cooking
voice
it.
around the corner. There's donuts and coffee in here. You're like, ah! And he's got the mask open, and he's like,
I'm like, okay.
all these donuts to myself. It's awesome.
People, it is a place to be where there's not anybody else messing with us, and it's not going to blow away.
So what occurs to you is
Play heavy
similar
donuts.
sort of thing. You're like, what if there's information that we don't have all the people that have this disease that have died in the hospital, all of their shit is here someplace.
I grab an orderly, and I'm like, I'll be right back. You look like you got this under
What I
control.
need to do.
Yeah.
You look like you understand
I know.
how this works.
At this point, I know that look. And I'm like, yep, you got it. I go grab an orderly.
I guess that you probably can handle this. I guess.
That's great, Ace. Fine, whatever.
I like how Dr. Bailey is like slowly becoming this just like bitter curmudgeon, always over shit. But
It's more like a dictator of the hospital.
Yes.
Really is what happens.
but
I'll go off and find some clues of my own.
But I go.
What happens when you go out in the field and talk to Michaels?
I got. Yes. I go grab an orderly and maybe even a security guard, and I'm like, "Hey, can you show me where the people, the people who have been admitted, where their possessions are?"
Okay.
Dead one.
And the living, but mostly the
They're
dead
probably
ones.
carrying them around.
Yes.
The living will care when I steal it. I mean,
Oh, you need her phone? There you go.
Excellent. Thank you very much. I laugh because he's not wearing a suit.
Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't realize. He's like, wow. I mean, it was kind of funny. I don't understand why you're laughing.
Still laughing.
Just wiping it on his shirt.
He just like licks his fingers. Ugh, gross. Tastes like infection.
I was trying not to go there.
while he's eating a donut.
While he's eating a donut, yes.
We just brought these in from the shop.
Reaches into the bathroom.
That's why it was so
We definitely have
sticky.
donuts next time. And just be like, all right, guys, everybody have a donut before we start.
Just swing by the supermarket.
And I guess I'm like looking for
Donuts, lock them back in, and
IDs.
just bring them into the
Phones
hospital,
might
see
be
what
difficult,
happens.
just because unlocking them is
Yeah.
intrinsically
Well,
difficult.
he basically takes you to where they've taken, like people came in and they gather up their stuff and cut their clothes off of them when they're and dress them. So there's bags of their stuff.
Any nice clothes that I could like maybe in my size?
They were all
We'll
cut off.
autoclave them. It'll be fine.
They've been cut apart.
Distressed. I like that look is in.
Distressed.
That look is in.
Excellent. Well, let's see. So for looking at their stuff, you are looking for forensics to look through their stuff for hints and patterns in their personal possessions.
You need me to make a roll for that?
Ah,
Yes. Nope, 52. I'm looking for a 40 or less.
so a regular failure. So with
I'm
a regular,
learning so many things on this trip, guys.
You put a check mark next to your forensics.
Got it.
So you, even with a failure, what you find out is that Mr. Cortez, the interesting thing that you make a connection from is going through their stuff is in Mr. Cortez's wallet. He has a partially used package of condoms hidden behind his cell phone.
We have a
But-
partially used.
I mean, it's like
No, no.
has
It's a
four-
pack.
There's a strip.
It's a
It's been
six-pack.
torn.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not like a pack of partially used condoms. That's totally different.
My favorite scene from the Blues Brothers, guys. Unprophylactic used. Thank you, Frank Oz.
That same cell phone, when you look at it, has suspicious text, vague flirting, veiled arrangements to rendezvous with Emily Langsfeld. At the same time, Mrs. Cortez, in her belongings, has a receipt for a recently filled orthotricycline prescription,
Orthotricycline
which
is
is an oral contraceptive.
Thank you.
Now, for giggles, you are looking at the data. Let's go ahead and make a roll, though.
Another crit. All right. What am I rolling
crit's what I want.
Succeed, for God's sake, man! Succeed!
It's a 33 again. Yeah, my
So
skill's 10.
science, mathematics, or anthropology is what they were looking for in here, but we were letting you use your physics just because, yes, you should have math also.
Sweet. Yep. 41 makes it.
41 makes it. Okay, so you basically will spend some time, both of you ask questions. Oh, now what about this person? Oh, well, now you talked to, and you're putting pins in the map. See, this is a couple of hours
we're putting
project. But the couple of hours project gives you some information. So if you made a critical success, all right, so the first pin goes in for Langsville, who is the earliest known case that you can figure.
Okay.
He clearly infected his wife Emily, who passed it on to Embry.
Embry is the other guy, right? Who's Embry?
One is Embry.
Embry. Stephen Embry.
Where is Embry in the list?
Yeah, it's just somebody's last name is Embry, and he was like the last person admitted in the list before we left.
Because so Cortez sounds like he got it from Mrs. Langville.
Yep.
But Mrs. Langville was one of the earliest admitted, right? So where'd she get hers from? Did we get? No, we didn't get that.
So Embry,
Well,
Emily and Embry worked together. So Langsville gave it to Emily, his wife, who gave it to Embry, who she worked with.
Mm-hmm.
The other early case is Liz Morey, who's one of the girls.
But they got it at the donut shop, right?
Who?
Or am I misremembering?
I think so, actually. Yeah, I believe they went into the donut shop.
And they would have contracted it from.
Yeah.
Forgive me, I can't
Other
remember
early
his name.
case is Liz Morey, who gave it to her sisters. But what's the point of intersection between Morey and Langsville, who gave it to Ahmad Maroof? Judging by the lag time between exposure and development of the symptoms, this actually isn't a worst case scenario. You know exactly when Dr. Polden got exposed, which was when Jeff Langsville checked in. By parsing all of that math, you get something of an epidemiological outline of the disease. While the time ranges are very rough, and there's no way of knowing what kind of outliers there might be for very long or very short times, it looks like people start demonstrating symptoms about 6 hours after exposure if they're active, but later if they rest. Also looks like the symptoms escalate rapidly until the patient is in grave danger 9 to 15 hours after onset. The bad news...
Onset of symptoms?
Looks like the symptoms escalate rapidly. They start demonstrating symptoms about 6 hours after exposure if they're active. It looks like the symptoms escalate rapidly until the patient is in grave danger 9 to 15 hours after their onset.
Okay, yeah, so it is after the symptoms.
Yeah, so it looks like they're
So
talking
minimum like 15
to
hours,
20
maximum 24 hours. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 15 hours to a day
Or 21.
after they contracted it. So the bad news is the sickness is deadly, unidentified, highly contagious. The good news is the lull period in which the infected are contagious but have no severe symptoms looks extremely short. So it's not like they're carrying it for hours and hours and
Yeah.
hours and hours. And
Running
hours.
around for
Working
3
days to
days.
weeks.
And
Yes,
we don't have any,
exactly.
and we haven't identified anybody who's just like a carrier but never gets symptoms.
Unless Liz Morey's mother is immune to the symptoms, but acting as a passive carrier because she is alive and not sick.
Use your gun. You gotta put her down.
Is she a donut?
She is a donut.
She is obviously Cthulhu.
She's just a mother-in-law.
Wow,
Jeez.
she's
people.
like,
Let me just roll conspiracy theories.
she's like,
Oh my god, 17. Yep.
got it, died, got it, died, got it, died, got it. Fine. Huh. Boom!
Now the pattern is symmetrical.
That could have been our source for a cure. If we knew that she's immune, we could.
There's tons of fluids
So
there.
you're
We
like-
can cure it.
So you're like pointing all these things out, and the sheriff's deputy's like makes. I didn't understand all of this. Is wow, it's like magic. Totally makes sense. You're a genius.
Or math.
Mathic.
Magic
Math is magic to me. I don't know.
Our school doesn't believe in those numbers. Yep.
We do for tests.
You haven't been to the schools in this.
Yeah, she was like really impressed. Yeah, she's like, wow, okay. So it's all containable. It's all, you know, where everything is and why. It's crazy.
And I'm going to start talking to you about guns. Be like, oh, is that a, you know, gun you got?
Absolutely, she's happy to talk to you about.
And then
her
I try to
gun.
convert it to my religion. No? Doesn't work? No. Oh well. That's one of my big bonds.
Wait, what is your religion?
Oh, it's not a specific one. It's just a.
It's just your religion.
It is no. It is an
Don't
evangelical
drink it away.
religion. So he does like to
Okay.
try to
Evangelize.
get other people interested.
Is it? Are you a cultist?
And then he goes off into a definition of what cults are, and it's kind of like, maybe.
Yeah.
I can't rule it out.
Technically,
She's
maybe.
like,
From
oh,
a certain point of view.
that's
Yeah.
my religion too.
Especially when the stars are properly aligned.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
And the mothership is in range.
Or Tiamat, whatever. Wrong
You know when you have
Yes.
a baby and a potato chip? Oh wait. Whoa.
I'm gonna make a sanity roll.
Baby carrots. Baby carrots.
Yeah.
That's what she was going. Baby carrots and potatoes. That's not. Yeah.
I already missed my human thing earlier, but that sounds like a lie to me. Yeah.
All right.
I should just go through
so
the
yeah,
skills and
you,
try to use
like-
them all. Accounting. Is there an accounting test?
Not yet. Not for this.
Okay, good.
Just wait. It's
Did you put all your points in accounting?
80%.
Was it? I have 80% fly planes, 80% accounting.
I have 2 career
I
paths.
have a company to run.
You're. Well, you're like
Yes.
80% flying, 80% swimming, though, right?
That
He's
was
also
awesome.
pragmatic.
So I seem to recall that. So you have a
Plan
whole,
A and Plan B.
so you have a whole bunch of data that you can take back and point out
Hold it up, map.
what you've gathered with everyone else.
Oh no, the map's ruined. Oh, the sprinkles fall off of it. You were using it as little markers.
Why?
No,
He
let's
just
go
kept
first.
sitting his coffee down on it. Oh, and you're like,
If you
God
had the helmet
damn it!
All the circles form like a Venn diagram, and in the middle,
Guys, it's
the
okay.
hospital we're at.
Spot!
No,
There it
anyways.
is.
I have plenty of like colored string and push pins
Beautiful mind this.
because that's the way I do my conspiracy theories. So
Oh,
So
no.
you
It's just
want a
like in your-
corkboard with you?
oh, yeah.
Oh, it's like pulled out.
it's in the chopper.
It's highly complicated, but it's still a corkboard.
Again, that's a great place to corkboard, a map, and pins.
Yeah.
On a helicopter.
Yeah, something that doesn't vibrate at all. Yeah.
So you guys want to take this info back to the hospital where they're working on things? He's going through
I'm
people's
digging through
stuff.
people's personal objects because
He's
I'm looking
like-
for a new phone.
He's like, this guy's dead, right? He's like,
There's pockets in the
holy
suit now.
crap,
You
it's
made
like
pockets.
a Master Cold Black.
That's what the duct tape is for.
It's like, yeah, exactly. I've made duct tape pockets. Still the leopard print. I'm running out of it though. I'm gonna have to switch over to the hot pink zebra print here in a second.
You just staple everything to yourself.
Stop it! Dr. Bailey's not that. Dr. Bailey's inept. He's not an idiot. Let's be completely clear.
Expertly staples things to himself. Oh.
Yeah, right through the face shield so he
It's
doesn't
like,
forget about them.
This part's not
I need to
vital.
remember this. I'm going to put it right here. Never forget this.
Look, yes, exactly. Super forgetful.
It says, "Do not pierce face shield."
So you guys are head back to the hospital. Danica is occasionally, messages and talking to people, and you hear the radio going. And so it sounds like the main road in and out of town probably shut down pretty well, but sounds like there's still people doing goofy stuff in town, and there's people probably driving out back roads and
Survivalists.
Yeah,
out there
you get
for vehicles.
you hear the stories of the roads, they're not letting anybody in and out anymore, but there's the old road that goes out behind Bob's hog farm that goes out through Bear County if you keep on it, and with several cars going out that way. Yeah.
On the ride back, I'll go ahead and sat phone in a report of what we found about the epidemic, whatever. It starts with an E.
Epidemiological.
Yes.
No, very
That
well
stuff.
done.
Study.
Thank you.
Took me a minute. I had to
It's
let
not an
me-
easy word.
Let me do
Yeah.
one syllable at a time. Got it.
Epidermological.
No.
Epidermis removal. What?
Your epidermis is showing. Okay, let's go. Stop it!
Yeah.
Stop. Gross. I regret this decision.
Yeah, just peel it right off. It's
I
extra.
regret this decision.
Extra. There's more skin under.
It's true. Can't run out ever.
Yes, you can.
With the cheese grater,
Layers
it's
and
easier.
layers.
Back to Evil Dead Army of Darkness. Anyways.
Okay, so back at the hospital, you guys arrived there, and
So, we're in the middle of...
you're in the middle of rifling through people's belongings.
And I'm assuming she's,
and she's
halfway
kind of
through...
monitoring
Yeah.
she's like 12 hours. She's probably about 6 hours.
Okay, so we got a little
Going
while
all the
before...
time of running around and stuff.
Okay.
And it was like, probably should eat something. We should.
I've got donuts.
Donuts. I run up to you with a string of condom packages, and I'm like, Mr. Cortez had sex. This is very important.
With someone who wasn't his wife.
Yes. How did you know that? Damn it! I'm not even gonna ask anymore. Of course you knew already.
I was here when it was reported.
Yep. Exactly.
I'm the one who
What?
had to tell you what I forget.
What sex was? Can you high five the handler? I think we need. There we go.
That's how the disease
It's like
spreads.
doxycycline or whatever the medicine was.
I wrote that down. Orthotricycline. There we go.
Orthotricycline.
But I would do it. I don't have to worry about getting pregnant. Do I?
Oh no.
No,
All my
sweetie.
doctorates just
You
going
don't.
down. I'm panicking.
No.
I don't know what's going on anymore.
You don't have to worry about that at all.
Unless
Especially
this
that-
is
especially
like,
that
oh no. Xenomorphs. It's like the chest burster leaps right out.
These
So
things-
do we have some
these
kind
things
of
happen.
portable tent or anything that we can wash ourselves off in and take our suits off and
I mean, you feel fairly comfortable that there are parts of the hospital that you could go into to kind of headquarter that are,
Far enough removed from disease.
they've been
victims,
removed from
yeah.
happenings. Like, this area hadn't been used. That part of the hospital shut down because we can't afford to.
It's
open
haunted.
Yeah, exactly.
We
There's some cultists. Somebody stuff last time.
We don't use that part of the hospital because of the zombies. Go ahead.
Yes.
I was examining patients in my
Yeah.
spacesuit and we were both handling pathogens to take samples and stuff.
Right.
So we have to wash
Yeah,
ourselves off.
yeah, you have to
somehow.
go through a
That's
chemical.
right.
I'm not taking my suit off this entire trip.
Did you drink a lot before you got
I am,
When was the last time you ate?
I don't need to eat.
No,
That's not true.
Oh, I guess how long has it been since?
Yeah.
Because it would have been before. So
yeah, unless you put a
I
diaper
mean,
on.
you guys,
I cathed myself before
a
I
couple
got
of hours flying here.
Didn't you see that?
And,
Don't even
and
joke.
have been here for at least 6 hours, and yeah, you're starting to get hungry and stuff.
So out of curiosity, are there rules mechanics for if you go...
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love it. Yes. Okay. Never mind. I would like to eat. Thank you for reminding me.
Donut?
Donut. Why? Yes. Thank you.
I
Roller?
ran them through the chemical cleaner. Took off the yellow suit,
They're
held
super-
the donuts at arm's length.
They're like the soggiest, sorriest donut you've ever seen. Most disease-catchingest donuts. Yes.
It's like
I'm just
it's
going to
like
go
fish.
get a packet of space rations from the.
Yeah. good.
Freeze-dried ice cream.
Yeah, I'm going to get an MRE.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah. Guys can quarantine yourselves over in a portion of the hospital that you think is probably safe.
Sounds like a good.
Oh, sorry.
That beautiful scene from Pitch Black.
Oh, yeah.
Is it clear? Looks clear.
Looks clear.
Oh, you said it was clear.
Instructions.
Anyways,
All right. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Why are you
We'll trust
making
her to do it, right?
Yeah.
To pick the spot.
I 100% Dr. Bailey does.
No,
She
no.
can do no wrong.
You're like, we should go over here, both at the same time. You're like, Jinx, we can't do it. We have to go into this room instead.
I'm just
you
like,
get to pick.
no. I don't trust myself anymore.
Okay. So you can do that. Clean up, eat.
Decon.
Yeah. Wait for your 12 hours to go by and go look at the samples again.
I mean, is there anything else we can? Cause we got like 6 hours to kill. Is that what it was?
I mean, if.
Nap.
Well, yeah, I mean, after we rest and eat and do our thing,
Mhm.
would there be enough time for me to treat any of the sickest patients?
It depends on if you find out enough information, basically. I mean, you don't know whether.
So I have to
It
wait
will
for the. I
help
have to
you.
wait for the samples to
Yeah.
get them
I mean, you can still go out and treat patients in the meantime if you want. It's just you've been doing concentrated work for
I'm tired,
a
I
long
need a break.
time, and yeah,
Take
eventually
that,
you're going to
yeah.
start taking minuses and stuff for being tired.
Well, I
So
mean, I
it's
wanna
like
make
you
sure-
recognize when
Yeah.
you need a break.
Yeah, I know I need to rest, so I'll definitely rest.
Okay.
Can't help patients if I'm falling over myself. 'cause I'm tired.
Self-care is super
12
important.
hours of examining the infection, and you rolled a success. So 12 hours later, after a mere 12 hours of intense intellectual effort, you figure it out. The disease is primarily virological, attacking the medulla oblongata and repurposing the cells of the commissural fibers. The diabolical part is it excretes prions as a byproduct of the conversion. The prions dupe the hypothalamus into triggering a fever, but even without the prion-based fever, the virus would eventually destroy the medulla, taking down cardiac and respiratory function. Oh, you have the honor of naming this disease. After this insight has been reached, only after this insight has been reached can a treatment process better than push fluids, cooling blanket, and take shots in the dark be developed. Oh, and you actually need to name this disease.
I come up with a clever name. Following typical naming conventions because I'm an epidemiologist and I know all about epidemiology.
Okay, let me see what
I
it says.
come up with an appropriate Latin sounding name.
Latin sounding. I think there are actually
Is
suggestions.
Badia.
Call it the green.
Is Badia.
Now I'm really curious
Is
what
that
Call it
happens
the green death for no reason.
So,
when you Google silly
a
virus names.
formal Latin name like Velox febris, meaning quick fever, or Divisa caput, meaning split head.
Kaput.
Yeah, Velox febris is probably the most formal sounding.
Oh, computer
Kind of
viruses. That
Aw,
makes much more. Yeah, less funny.
Michelangelo.
that's disappointing.
I like the fast fever thing.
Yeah, quick fever, Velox febris.
Yeah, Velox febris.
Accio death.
Are you gonna put your own name on there somewhere?
Yeah.
No. Okay.
She's not
I
vain.
think we should call it Chango.
Not vain.
Chango fever.
Chango.
Chango fever.
Guys,
Velox
good.
febris
It is.
changus.
Yeah.
There you go.
I love it.
That's marketing right
It just
there.
seems right, doesn't it?
That's marketing right there.
That's how you can tell when you got a good one.
That is
Everybody
awesome.
wants to catch the fever now.
Everybody wants Tango Fever.
Tango fever coming at you.
Is there a dance? Is there a dance
Yes, there
involved?
is. There is a dance.
She's like,
She's
she
losing
doesn't
control.
dance.
All
I found it!
I
found it! I found it! I found it! I found it! And she's
wait.
dancing around
Waving it
it,
in
and
Bailey's
she's
face.
pointing at you. Yeah.
Wait, dancing.
This is
No,
how you find
I'm
the disease,
not.
Bailey.
No, I'm not doing that.
See, he would totally do that.
Well, he
That's not.
I would never discover anything interesting like that.
Yeah. Dr. Michaels is classy. She doesn't do that kind of stuff.
But she does look down her nose at him every once in a while when nobody's looking.
No, she's just
Well,
like,
Just when he
you're,
does
you're such a
stupid
cute
stuff.
scientist. That's all.
You're so adorable and stereotypical.
I love watching you do work. It's like the first time I ever did anything when I was in high school. You know, something like that.
Which would be fine if you weren't trying to solve this deadly illness.
Yes, exactly. Making mistakes is totally okay when people's lives are not on the line.
Oh.
I shed a single tear inside my suit.
Everyone's special.
Excellent.
Especially you.
So, you have successfully... Aren't you glad you took over the study thing?
I basically designed my character to be all about like finding stuff out and
I like
Solving
it.
the
It saved our
problem?
butt.
yes.
Okay, so she finds out the disease and how it's working and everything else, and that can be used to develop a treatment. Now the other thing is,
Ice cream. It's just ice cream. That's all you need.
It turns out the treatment is specifically like, one flavor.
Neapolitan ice cream, you have to take equal amounts of each flavor. It's super important.
it's that Superman Play-Doh looking ice cream. It's the only thing that will fit.
What
that will
about the
stop
one
it.
that's seasonal that's not in season right now?
Oh, then you gotta get a
no.
hold of
Oh,
Bluebell
like
and be
peppermint.
like, guys, spin it up. Here we go.
Yeah,
Saving lives.
the Christmas peppermint.
It's the Christmas peppermint from Bluebell.
So maybe their tasting room has it because like they have an extra stock or something.
It's like somebody hid it in the back of the freezer.
Don't worry
keeping
about
it
the
for later.
listeria. It's fine.
Mhm.
Just get
No,
the-
that's the solution.
Listeria is the
is the
solution!
Sorry, Bluebell.
We love you,
I love you.
Bluebell.
Fight a fever. Eat listeria? I don't know. I don't know.
Okay,
Now-
so
now I
basically that
actually
gives you the
want ice cream.
information
I do
that
too.
you can disseminate to go, this is what we need to do to treat it, and, spread that information out amongst the CDC to get the ball rolling for that.
And
Definitely want
Uh,
to tell the hospital staff.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they,
They're pretty much
not
SOL.
quite on
Make
the
'em-
same
make 'em
scale
comfortable.
as you
Yeah.
guys. But that does leave.
Where did it
Do you
come
know how it's
from?
transmitted? Just because, like, if it's like, oh, how you doing, and you get it.
No, that's legit. Like, is it airborne? It's not
Yes.
just an... Yeah, that's kind of what I figured.
It
yeah.
can inhale, swallow, breathe in.
So pretty much
Make
everybody,
out.
everybody at the
Yeah.
hospital
Hot
is pretty
make
much
outs.
screwed.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I
Except
waved
for
the
people in
condoms.
suits.
Oh,
Okay.
we can start treating everybody who's in the hospital.
Well, it's going to take time to develop the treatment. But
Right.
you know the steps for developing the treatment.
Is it
from
going
what
to take
you
more than
found.
21
So,
hours?
it's going to take... treatments are time-consuming.
Okay, they're all done.
Well, I definitely want to start
Yeah.
on like small production here.
Can you
Yeah.
inoculate? Can you... Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah. So the other step that is in your mandate there is...
Where did it come
Where did it come from? Locating...
The
I mean,
donut
you have some
shop.
fairly good ideas
No.
about early... Who had it the earliest.
Who done it?
Yeah.
Ooh, I would like to see if Miss Charred Body has any evidence of this virus, like in her bone marrow or anything.
Absolutely, she does.
You just go pick it up and look at the bone. Yep. See it
Yeah,
right there.
and
Totally infected.
was her
Little tentacles coming out
body
of the
brought
bone,
into the
bone slices.
hospital before everybody else started getting
Didn't
sick,
go away.
or after everybody started getting sick?
After.
But she... It seems like, from the email and the fact that she does... Unless it was just some weird coincidence, like she ran into somebody who was sick after she had her crazy moment. Like,
Let's
where
see.
where does she work?
What did you...
It was
We may have to leverage somebody's like administrative skills to like get an investigation going.
But she wasn't the first person.
Langsville
Mr. Langswell was the first
was the
person.
first one.
Was it really?
Yeah. She was the first person. She was the first person we knew about when we landed.
I'm okay. No, that makes sense. And did Langsville and do we remember where Langsville works? What he does, who he meets, how he dances, how he speaks.
He's dead so poorly. On all counts.
But what if we Weekend at Bernie's him?
Is there a Davies on that list?
He's actually pretty good. Davies.
No, there wasn't. We were trying to figure out
Davies
who
is
Davies
gone and no
was.
one knows where he went.
Oh. She's dead now, but I don't know what's going to happen to Hudson Wells. I expose them.
Maybe the police officer or the sheriff's deputy knows who that is because she knows everybody in town.
That's
And
true.
I'm willing to, yep. Good question. You're a good idea.
Does she know who?
Who Davies is.
Davies.
Or even do you know this Dr. Her name wasn't covered.
Dr.
Care.
Timber.
No, she said that she didn't really
It's
know
a
her.
typo. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she didn't really know Dr. Care when they drove out to the house.
Right.
They talked about that. Davies. That's not familiar to me. He must not be a local. I know most everybody. Let's see now. You guys.
We never did figure out where Jeff Langswell works.
Now looking at her.
Oh, he works at Caltech. Sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes okay,
Yeah,
cool.
he works at Caltech.
So
Jeff
Lang-
Langswell.
Jeff Langswell.
it
So maybe
seems
he got
like
from her.
one of them would have gotten it from the other one.
The power demand was incalculable. Where did it all come from?
Have y'all checked out the Caltech lab yet?
We don't know where it is. We have not. We gotta kind of track that down.
Is there like a collider near here?
A collider.
Yeah, well, the physics research she's working on require any
it-
special equipment.
Is there a university
Would I know that?
physics lab?
Because if there's a particle accelerator around here, I would know about it.
Yeah, there's no. Let's see now. Particle accelerator. There is.
Usually you accelerate them into
Particle decelerator.
It's called a seatbelt.
Oh.
Yes! And boo!
Decelerator.
Boo! Ridiculous.
You have roll your physics and just tell me what you get there if you get something particular. Great.
0-1.
I got a 51. My physics is 80.
51. So you're like, there's no particle accelerators out here.
What do you know about Sandian National Labs?
Department of Energy.
In the Upside Down? Anyways,
It's like I actually used to work with some people from there, like in real
Yeah.
life,
Oh, cool.
but
I'm curious what
not for a long time. I mean, they're not Los Alamos or
Yeah,
you know.
they're not as, under or deep cover or whatever.
yeah, but they're still
But-
DOE. They're still like
Have you guys experienced
nuclear.
a power outage or anything like that recently?
Smart.
A couple of days ago.
Nice.
Is there an inspiration thing in Delta Green? Because I think that was awesome.
No, because it's Delta Green.
Alright.
So,
We're supposed to die.
do we know what caused it?
Where's that meteor that crashed the other day?
Let's see, bureaucracy,
W17.
anthropology, and forensics. Who's got bureaucracy
I
really
have bureaucracy. I got
Get it, Dr.
70.
Michaels!
I got a 70 bureaucracy.
Can somebody
high?
assist?
Anybody have anything higher than 70?
I only have a 40 forensics. I think she's our best bet.
Oh, forensics? Forensics is 80.
Nice.
Forensics. You can use forensics 80. Skill at 80%.
Don't even have to roll.
So you guys are looking at your info and you say, well, it looks like this Langsville or maybe this lady Cavert got sick first. We got that email from the lady whose employer of record is some weird research project. And the first recorded death is Langsville, who works for the same place. And he just mentioned whether there was a power failure. And you look around, on your phone, on the internet stuff, and start, Googling and cross-referencing names and things in places, and you find a news item mentioning a brownout on June 12th in Hudson's Well was traced to a power fluctuation at a substation owned by a Caltech project out in the desert.
Let's go out to the desert.
Sounds like a great idea.
I'm gonna ask
We'll
the
take the
deputy if
helicopter
she knows
for
where
that.
that
I
is.
feel like yes.
She says,
Let's go out to the desert.
Let's take the deputy with us.
she says that sounds
She seems
like
pretty
that's.
capable.
Yeah.
She seems like
And
fun.
expendable.
She says that I think that's the old mine.
I just say right in front of
The
me.
old mine?
Yeah, I think there's there's somebody using that place to do some sort of research or something out there. Maybe
Unspeakable
a
rituals.
college.
So, wanna go for a ride?
You
Who would
Yeah,
know
I
for
mean,
sure?
there's-
That's right, neutrino
who
detectors
would know
would be.
for sure? All the dead people would. Let's see.
Well, that doesn't help us.
Speak with dead. Oh, wrong game.
Oh, no!
I've
Make a sanity check.
just from saying it, just from referencing the magics, the dread magics.
Because you know you can.
Just what we could call him.
Let's call him.
Kill me.
What?
I don't think anybody's gonna pick up.
Like
They
they're
use
all
really
dead or something?
Almost certainly.
This is the 90s.
It's true. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, I forgot where I was. I
It's like
forgot what
2011.
That's why I said
Oh, it's 2011? So like the iPhone 1 is what we're having to deal with? Jeez. Flip phones.
Ring, ring, hello.
No one is
No one's
answering.
answering. Alright.
Hey, I have a flip phone.
For me, that was just 2 months ago.
For me, that was like a lifetime ago.
Well, I mean, you do get reborn when you get a smartphone the first time.
Thank
Does
you,
happen.
Techno Jesus.
Do you know where the mine is?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you direct
It's
us to
out
it from the air?
Highway 5002, whatever. So
Cool, let's get in the helicopter.
it's like
Helicopter.
it's not far.
All right, let's go for a ride.
How are we? We're
the hell
fine
am I?
for gas, right?
It's like 10 miles.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like 10 miles outside of town. They said, I just know.
But you gotta go outside of town, which is locked down, so let's take the helicopter.
Good point.
Call
She said, or we
the
could-
government.
or
Let
we
them
could
know.
She said, I could drive the police car and drive up there, and
All right, let's take.
you're the CDs with the CDs.
But we have a helicopter.
But you can fly a helicopter up there if you want.
And that's our go to hell plan. Crash the helicopter
Well, the
into
thing
the
is,
mine entrance.
All the damage we've taken so far has been in the helicopter. I want to get back in there.
No storms, right?
It's like perfectly clear day. Make a piloting check.
It's right.
Perfect.
I mean, the wind's blowing. It is raining and stuff.
Oh, it's still
nothing
stormy.
like
It's still
it's
stormy.
like nothing like the psychoness.
Right.
But yeah, it is still raining and
All
storming.
right, let's
and
take the
stuff.
car. What's that?
How big is this car?
Like a
They,
Suburban.
they had like a Ford van or something for you.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Mhm. They knew we were coming. We're not crammed in the back seat. All
Yeah,
Is
of
there,
it.
is there any
set that
stuff
up.
on the helicopter we might want?
Let's take everything with us.
Doomsday
You
bag.
probably want to.
Probably a good idea.
If-
I don't think we
You
can.
probably want
we
to take
can.
some
We
oxygen
could.
Ex-
tanks out of
oxygen
the
tanks.
to
We'll
replenish.
take the
Extra suits?
portable lab, I guess,
Yeah.
because we can.
Yeah, take
we
it
may
with
not
you.
need it.
And it's not like an Apache helicopter or anything. It's not like, oh, we had missiles and now we don't. Or anything.
No, it's
Okay.
just like one of the key weapons.
Yeah. All right.
Missiles are all missing.
The armaments have been stolen.
oh,
Isn't that
forgot it.
strange?
So grab a couple.
All the air tanks and the extra suits are all gone. Oh!
Even better.
No. Okay, so y'all want to load this stuff up into
And,
the van and drive it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
alright,
Absolutely.
and grab a couple, or grab some more oxygen tanks from the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I need
Refill,
to switch out
top
suits
off,
or
all
whatever.
that jazz.
Yeah, because the ones that you carry are like an hour
Yeah.
or something like
Perhaps
that. Unless
extra
you're
ones.
like really exerting yourself.
Can't.
Like,
I won't even think
You-
about it.
I don't know if you can even carry it.
Strength 5?
We'll find out.
I can
in a
barely
moment.
lift myself.
Okay,
push-up
so
was
you
that.
guys start driving out to the mine site.
Do we see demonic faces in the sky?
Rain peters out, but it's still
Nice.
overcast, so it's not pouring down on you when you get out there. It is about 10 miles from Hudson's Well. It is in the middle of nowhere. So it's 10 miles from Hudson's Well and like 15 miles from any place else settled.
Mm-hmm.
As you start getting out there,
Start to hear voices.
she tells you, Danica can tell you that this place has been closed down forever, but it has been rented out from time to time over the years to be used as research facilities for things that want to be out in the middle of freaking nowhere.
Who owns the mine?
What does it actually say?
You just know Caltech owned the substation.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Caltech has it at the moment. I don't know if they own it. You know, if
Or
they
if
bought the
they're
property at the
renting it.
moment.
I
You know,
don't really
maybe the-
believe in the idea of property anyways.
Yeah. So as you get out, 10 miles outside of town, you see that you come up to an area where there is a 10-foot fence topped with razor wire surrounding the perimeter of the pit of the mine, which is about a mile out. Has prominent no trespassing signs every 1,000 feet or so. The gate, you pull up to the gate, shows signs of being left open probably most of the time. It doesn't look like it's, there's a scraped area where they shut it, close it, shut it. Probably they come in the morning and unlock it and swing, the fence open and they just leave it open. So she drives through that, and as she drives closer to the rim of the pit itself, there is a second fence that's 20 feet tall, strung between milk posts as thick as telephone poles, topped with razor wire and lined with plastic privacy strips to block lines of sight down into the pit. As you get up close to it, it's flapping around and stuff, close to it you can see past the strip somewhat, and so basically it's one of those tiered dugout mine type structures. At the base of it you can see that down at the bottom there's like a building and a small parking lot.
And everything looks fairly intact from up here.
Yeah, base of the hole there's a parking lot and a low white building, windowless building. At the inner fence, however, has a guard post and a very serious closed gate.
When you were looking through everybody's personal effects, did you find like some awesome key card that you just put in your pocket?
Would have been too easy.
Maybe
So,
they'll check
as you
themselves
pull
and just
in-
bring us around.
So as you pull up to that fence, there is a fenced-in area that is an array of wires and gray boxes and electrical transformers that looks like this might be the substation they were talking about that Caltech owned. There's nothing else around it, so it appears to be a dedicated substation. Probably has wire conduit underground going to the building that you can
Is
see.
there a phone or an intercom anywhere?
The outer fence, you do not. You see a guard shack.
Is it occupied?
No, and
Only
the
by
gate
the
is
goods.
shut. The inner fence, the closed gate by the inner fence, is unmanned. When you look at the gate, it appears to be. It is a hardcore fence here. It is locked, and it appears the lock for opening this is on the inside. So you have your outer fence, you have kind of your power substation thing out there, and you have your inner fence, and it goes down. Once you get past it, you can go down the tiered structure down to the bottom of the building. But that fence itself is locked.
Well, where's the guard shack?
It is on the inside.
Do we think, or do we have the equipment to maybe hook a chain or a rope or something to set fence and use the van that we have to drag that sucker down?
Or do we even have
It
like bolt
looks.
cutters?
It is attached to pole sized structure.
Ooh, we will be ripping the.
You doubt that this van would. Yeah, you doubt this van would pull it down.
I bet
power
we have
station.
bolt clippers.
No, you don't have bolt clip. But it's 10 miles to town, and we could go to the hardware store and get bolt clips.
Are we in
The
any
helicopter.
super? Yeah. Fly the helicopter into the gate. Of course. Why didn't we think of
Just land
that?
it down in the damn pit in the first place.
Helicopter pilot has 80% piloting skill.
Yeah.
So a inverted ziggurat mine into the ground
I get to rappel.
would have a negative draft,
Yeah, with
which means it's really difficult to fly
Right.
into a negative draft. You would know that with your skill. He's like, I could probably do that, or crash into the ground.
And everybody dies.
What does the gate look like? What?
I mean, it's like the way they describe it is like it is a wire gate, so it is cuttable if you had bolt cutters. Assuming that there's nothing weird about it, but I mean, there's nothing you see.
We don't see any like
you don't
high
see any-
voltage.
You don't see anything run directly to it to go, oh, it's a powered electrified gate.
Well, you
Yeah.
could take a wrench and like toss it
But
up
you could
against
look
it to
at,
see
you
if
have
it-
electrical
I do.
as a craft.
Mhm.
So you looking at the,
You're like, this
pow-
is some
so that power
kinky-
station, you can go eyeball it if you want to.
I do.
What is your craft electrician?
40.
40.
Like you have a doctorate. Isn't that what-
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Years of experience in the field.
You
yeah.
look at it, and it is some sort of battery bank. So it's got power that comes to it from the city, and then it fills the capacitor battery bank up.
And the facility draws power off it.
Yeah, so it can run off the battery, or if the battery is full, it would be drawing power directly from the city.
Okay. And there's
So
no
you could try to shut that off if you wanted to try.
there are no transmission lines to the building.
No. You assume from looking at it that it is probably underground.
Is there something that looks like a maintenance hatch or maintenance door or something that the conduit would run through?
It looks to you like that would be pulling off the structure of the battery and stuff itself to get to the wires and stuff. You assume they're underneath it and are running into the ground.
Okay.
So there's probably underground cable coming to it, and then underground cable going out of it down to the mine.
Well, let's see if I can shut it off.
Okay. That is a percentage roll.
Wait. We're assuming. Well, that's assuming that the lock on the gate's electronic.
It may not be.
Can I take a closer look at the lock on the gate?
Yeah.
I don't have this work.
Because one thing we don't want to do is shut off all the power and then, kill any containment area they've got going on down
Yeah.
there.
You know, I saw that episode of Star Trek.
Yeah.
Good call. I
The
wasn't even
lock
thinking
on
along
the
those
gate
lines.
appears to be an electronic lock.
Oh, cool.
And there are no
What if,
lines
what if
to
we
it.
deliberately tripped it?
What, trip the lock?
Yeah.
It's,
Maybe get somebody to come up here and yell at us.
I think
Well,
you're
you
right.
just
Just have it
We're all
registered like
dead.
invalid. Beep, beep.
well, you think about tripping an alarm.
Yeah.
I'm talking about opening the lock.
You're talking about shutting down power to the entire facility, essentially.
Does the lock itself just look like a simple bolt lock?
No,
I mean, it might be, but it's whatever it is. It's housed in a fashion that it unlocks from the other side, and it's heavy. So it's heavy enough that to you it looks like I could ram the van into it over and over and
I
over
don't know.
until
MacGyver
it
did this
busts
a lot.
open.
MacGyver was able to create, basic, what would be just acids or whatever from things that he found around. Be like, oh, yep, this will totally take that lock out.
I mean, we have a
Probably.
car battery, but sulfuric acid in that amount is not going to be enough to. I mean,
You might be able to
or
go
small
back into
explosives.
town and look for supplies to make something.
God.
to do
I
that.
actually
Back
just
to
carry a
sound.
pound of C4. with me.
MacGyver,
Would you like to
MacGyver
use
wasn't
this?
playing Delta Green.
Wait,
MacGyver was
MacGyver
playing Savage
MacGyver was on
Worlds.
easy world, easy mode.
Let's open up the Doomsday bag and see what's inside the Doomsday bag.
I think
Gonna
that's
disease it to death.
stuff to help with disease.
It's medicines and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's chemicals.
Yes.
And I've got chemistry.
Are there any combat enhancers that would allow me to leap over the gate? Probably not.
Maybe we can toss you over.
Yes, exactly.
And
You
if
might
you
be able
call
to
the
take
razor
enough
wire-
drugs that you could leap
And I
out
land
of the van.
3 points. And I do that, and I
He's like,
save the
I have
day.
5 strength.